When we finished the record, he loved it. Absolutely loved it. We did some playbacks and he said, "This is incredible." Cut to a year later, when it's sold 10 million copies, and you have to disown it. You can't have any punk ethics and go, "Man, I love the way our last record sounds, and I'm so happy it sold 10 million. Dave, Chris, and I talked about it at the 20th anniversary, and we all agreed, man, that record sounds amazing. And it does. People complain that Andy Wallace's mix was too slick, but it isn't. If you compare it to anything you hear on the radio, it's still raw sounding. You know, some songs were very last minute. Come As You Are and Teen Spirit were written very shortly before we recorded them. Now, with that said, they didn't write those songs in the studio. They had rehearsed them a bunch of times during pre-production, and the band sounded very tight. They had been practicing every day. They were not slackers and really put the time in. When we did pre-production, I didn't want to make them rehearse every day for 2 weeks. It was a waste of time. We did 3 days of rehearsals, and we'd only rehearse for a couple of hours. We'd set up stuff and just have them run through it. I had a few changes in the arrangement that they'd work on, but pretty simple stuff, tightening things up here and there. And with most of the stuff on that album, we'd usually get them in 2 or 3 takes. The performances are amazing sounding, really intense and very focused, but the songs are super hooky. They're gloriously hooky pop songs dressed up with punk attitude, so you can sing along to pretty much every song at the top of your lungs. Great choruses. It's real simple production. I know people groused at the time that it was too slick, but it's not slick. It's drums in a room, a guitar, and a bass. Sometimes we double track the guitar, and sometimes we'd add a few harmonies and Kurt would double track his voice, but it was dead simple production. They met with a bunch of other big name producers and they didn't like any of them. I know their names, but I'm not going to name them. Some of them I knew, and at one point they asked me if I wanted to engineer for one of the big name producers, and I thought, hey, that could be cool, because it's a big producer and I'll probably learn a lot. But then I thought, nah, I don't want to do that. And then Nirvana called me a week later and told me they wanted me to do the album. So it's probably smart I said no at the time.